I tell my inner child I'm sorry for everything you had to go through. It started as a child. I wish that I was stronger in situations that I had to go through. I'm trying to press it now.
Welcome back to Talks with Two, guys. This is episode 3. Today I got a special guest here, Isaac Clark.
Yes.
AKA 32 Icy, in the building. And he came today to talk about it, man. We gonna hit on a lot of subjects today, but how you doing today?
I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. You know, I'm blessed. That's what I've been running with right now. Like, I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good. Getting this podcast started, bringing people like you on here to come speak for the people.
I feel special, and I like that. I'm glad I'm episode 3, you know.
3-2.
Yeah.
So, if you can just introduce yourself, a little bit about your upbringing in Nashville.
Okay. Well, I'm a Nashville artist, you know, rap, you know, songwriter. Grew up in West Nashville, Tennessee. If you know about West Nashville, it's the trenches, it's Tetris out there.
Right.
But when you survive it and make it through whatever adversities, you'll come out like a strong. You'll be a leader. You can be a leader if you come up out that environment and learn what you need to learn from it. And I'm gonna just say, like, I'm a leader from that neighborhood. Everybody respect me from the things that I've been through. Just my whole push, my music. They follow my music. They follow everything that I do. So I just say I just don't box myself in. I can't just say I'm just one thing. It's
right.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a leader. I'm a big brother. I'm a father. I'm a role model. I'm all of the above.
Okay, so let's talk about your upbringing in West Nashville.
Okay. Well, like the projects, West Nashville projects was Preston Taylor. They real dangerous, like I said, and it had like down. It had the drive. The drive was real dangerous. Then it had like up top like Georgia Court, but where we stayed at, it was like a mutual zone.
Right.
So it was like I didn't get to feel all the Tetris stuff until I started expanding, going other places. But it was a place where me and my cousins, my brothers, we can thrive at. It was like I was just seeing a lot of stuff. It was kind of like to me inspiring. Like if I see somebody come through there shining or something, I'm just like, dang, look at that. Like I want that when I get older. Playing football in the front yard, but. As I got older, they tore down our projects in 2000. So I was like 12 going on 13, I believe. And my mother started moving around a little bit, like up the hill from Preston Taylor is like 32nd. So that's where the 32 Ice came from. So I started jumping off the porch really there and experiencing childhood like beefs and hatred, envy, and all of. I felt like it was just like a normal thing that I was adjusted to. But I'm like, dang, I ain't understand why people hate. But I had a lot of love because my people, you know, they all about love. My mother and them, my cousins is like in the household we had all love. But outside in the streets, I just felt a lot of hatred out there, and I just feel like I had to adjust to it. And one way of adjusting to it, you didn't have to become. You got to be militant minded out there, like coming up out there in that era.
So I was listening to your song, My Story, because, I know I engineered and sometimes I don't be listening until I really get, outside. But today on my way here, I played a couple of songs from your Gemini project that you just released not too long ago. And one of the songs I listened to was My Story, and you talked about, like you said, jumping off the porch 16 with drugs. So how did that start?
Well, at 16, my father was locked up in the feds. He got locked up when I was 14. But my daddy sold drugs all my life before I was born and stuff like that. And I got to see so much stuff firsthand. It was like I was introduced to it by like default. It was like my daddy wasn't trying to hide nothing from me.
Right.
Everything was in my face. So I understood the hustle. And then when he was locked up, it was just plenty of opportunity out there. You seeing people selling probably weed and stuff like that. I just never tried to go like big time, like what level he was on, because I seen what the consequences was for it. But to get money, I was like, dang, it's easy. I can sell a little weed and make me some little profit. And my mama didn't really care for me to go like work a job. She wanted me to focus on school. But I'm like, man, when you dealing with dating girls and all that, you
gotta have some money.
Like you got some money on. You talking about going on a little date and doing this. I'm like, hold on, I gotta pick up some type of little hustle. So I really got introduced to it through that. And I had my older brother. He was 4 years older than me, so he kind of got to go here first, and I got to see like examples from him. And then if he get introduced to some weed or some sex or whatever,
right?
He trying to break bread with little bro, and I just jumped off the porch then and kind of sold a little bit in school and all that type of stuff.
So how was selling in school? Like, was you afraid to get caught? Like, how was your, like, damn, like, I hope I don't get caught doing this. Like, how was your mindset while doing that at that age? Because 16, like, you ain't 18 yet. You still a minor.
Right. I really didn't even think too much of other consequences. But then I remember one time, because I was fresh. Like, I didn't know how to have the smell or none of that. But I know one time it was like reeking in my pocket like the weed. I'm like, damn, I'm finna get caught. I gotta hurry up and sell this. So that right there kind of spooked me because I feel like I can keep smelling like even the people around me smoking inside the car, I get out the car and I'm like, damn, man, we gonna get in trouble. So I kind of was a little bit paranoid when I started seeing that. So it just made me kind of be a little bit smart. It was like, if you ain't already got that person meeting up with you before your first period start, ain't no reason for you to be sitting here trying to look for a sale. You ain't on no block or nothing like that. So it ran its course though. I ain't get in trouble or get caught with doing that. Right. But at the same time, I was like, damn, I made $60 today at school.
And at that time, that was a lot. That was probably a lot.
That's all I need. I told you I wasn't trying to be Big Meech in school and none of that, and trying to read these stories and say I'm just hustling home and like and all that.
Right. So, with seeing the fact that your dad didn't hide nothing from you, like, did you get inspired by how much money he was making and how he was living? Like, what did he had? He had cars, clothes. You feel me? Like, he was really living that.
Yeah. Now I'm talking like my daddy did it on. Yeah, my daddy did it on a high level. Like when I say like flying to California, meeting up with the plugs, right? Bricks and all that type of stuff. But he did have the flashy cars. And I noticed with him having all this flashy stuff, all my friends looked up to me like they gave me a crown, like I'm the king right here because your daddy riding it. Like, dang, look at his daddy with the rims on there, and his daddy got that beat. And then when he going to go do his hustling, he used to go to Lebanon and like supply the whole Lebanon and whatnot. Yeah. So while he was gone, I'm at the house showing off the dogs. I'm bringing people in, showing his guns. I was like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Acting like I got it like that. So, and I was, another thing though, the music that I was listening to correlates with it. I was listening to Birdman, the Cash Money Hot Boy. So I know what they speaking of, and I'm like, damn, that's what that is, what Pop's doing. Right. So I just feel like that was instilled in me, that flashiness of what my father had. And when my father went to jail, I kept rapping about him like Bird, like I'm bragging about his lifestyle and the stuff that he was doing. So I just embodied that hustler spirit really just based off of knowing it was already in me, like from my dad. Okay.
So when he got arrested and went fed, how was everything after that? Because you say he was moving, how he was moving, getting it, how he was getting it. Did anything slow down as far as like y'all being taken care of financially? Like, how was things in the home after that, or like around you, like in the streets, like all around?
Really, with my father leaving, that hurt me because, like I said, I got the flash stuff that it was my normal. So I'm just showing everybody all this, and I'm like, damn, this guy took it away. Like, he really locked up. And he got a lot of time. Like, damn, that shit wasn't even really worth it. Right. And it's like, I couldn't really understand it at all, like going through it, because like I said, he was doing that early. Like when I was a baby, my diaper bag was stuff inside.
You said that in the song.
Yeah, like in real life, that's why I said it. So like my diaper bag, he had bricks and stuff in there. He ride with me. He used me as the decoy. Like and I'm like, damn, father, I'm supposed to do no stuff like that when I got older. And my mother, she a beautician. So my mother, like, she been making money off her hands, like, all her life. So it didn't stop her hustle. So she didn't care what his lifestyle had going on. We still had balance on this side. My mom, we was the freshest kids in the project.
Made
so
sure
you would
y'all
think,
was good.
you would think like we were still living that life because of that didn't lack up on her end because she didn't depend on him, but she know he used to drop money off whenever. She ain't have to never ask for it. So it kind of hurt me to like my pride and things of that because I'm like, dang, my pop's gone. But it gave me I vented that through the music. So you'll catch those type of stories, man. And like I said, my mother, she stayed on her toes doing her like she
cosmetizing.
that's how she made her money. She can stop. She can make $1,000 that week, and I'm like, yeah, she doing better. So I'm bragging about her lifestyle.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna make $1,000. Yesterday, they be like, you stay clean. Like everybody was bragging about the clothes that I wore all the time. Like,
and you still fresh, bro. You know, I say something about the outfit every time I see you. I'm like, damn, with the jersey, with the jacket.
My mama cursed us with that. You feel me? Like that was really a curse, but she said the reason she done that was because when she was growing up, she really didn't have. She was unfortunate. Our grandma was getting her Goodwill stuff, and so she didn't want us to get talked about. So she done put these clothes on us, and then we just keeping up with it. And I'm like, I can't even help myself now. At this point in my life, it's always been a part of my life.
Right. So, let's see. So with your mom doing what she doing and your dad doing, you know, what he doing, they live in two different lives. Mm-hmm. So how was that when you was under her care versus under his care? Or was it like all in the same house? Like who was you with more? Like your mom, your dad? Like how did that go?
They was separate. They separated when I was like, I want to say like 5. But my mother knew what type of lifestyle that he lived. But she didn't know he had me so involved with it, seeing it like so much firsthand. So when she never seen him do so much transactions and stuff. But it just had my mindset like I know how to keep quiet. I knew how to not talk about what my dad was doing outside the household. So it was like a code of it's just quietness. A lot of stuff that I experienced, I just never spoke on. I just like, okay, I seen this, okay, it's normal, but don't say this in school that your daddy sell drugs, or don't come to your mama like, mama, hey, my daddy just, he just had this in my drawer. He is something right here, mama didn't get it out. I thought I lost it. So I feel like just like with how my daddy exposed me to that same type of stuff, my mother had me seeing a whole different like discipline. Right. Like she wasn't going for that. She ain't talking about don't do no drugs. Yeah. Don't join no gang, because if you join a gang, you don't love me. So it was like we really was me and my brothers. There's 3 of us. We was real disciplined about my mama. So all her friends, they be like, you got some great kids. I love your kids. They good kids. Even though I was raised up in a hustler home, like with my dad, but I was more with my mother as well. So it was just a balance. Like my daddy used to really just come get me on weekends and stuff like that after they separated. So I was really more with my mother, and that's why I really got the real game from her. Like even though he was who he was, really most of the OG status, the things that come from her, the thinking and all that type of stuff. Like
your mindset.
Yeah, my mindset come from my mother.
So you said you got 2 brothers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know you mentioned, you know, seeing your mom smile, but she going through a lot of pain. Mm-hmm. So how did, you know, you guys take that, like knowing that your mom's smiling, but knowing she not happy?
Man, that was a good question. Like, I really always put the pressure on my back to make it out. Like, I'm gonna make my mom happy. I'm gonna be rich. I ain't gonna let her down. I'm gonna take all the load off her. I feel like she was my responsibility, even though I'm her responsibility. So I always had that mindset. And when I was kind of like in the streets, when I ended up getting to a point where I got in the streets heavy, but I knew that's something she didn't never agree with. Right. Like she loved me. She gonna pray for me. Mm-hmm. But me changing that around and living the way I live now, she like so happy and like embracing it. Like, dang, you making me proud. The way that I need, like I can talk highly about my son. I can say I got a lot of great things to say about you. Just like when her friends come back and say, man, I seen your son, he's doing some great stuff out there. She bragging and boasting about me now. And I feel like that's what I was supposed to been doing, even though I went through all the other stuff. This right here stand out more to her. She a proud mom of what I'm doing today.
So what was your mindset like when you were in the streets and doing those things, and all right, like my mom don't really like this, but what made you keep doing it when you were doing it?
Man, it was so dark. It was dark in the streets. Like, I was conscious before I jumped out there. I was like, man, if I ever get like, I'm seeing people and I'm like, man, if I ever get like him, I don't think I'll come back. And I was kept trying to stay away from it. And it was like, I think like when I was 14, I was like, I ain't going for none of that. Like, whatever the hate and all that, I ain't going for that. I'm going to stand 10 toes about it. And I ended up being in a situation where a dude snuck me and my jaw got broke. So that triggered me because I ain't feel like nobody should be putting their hands on me in the first place. And when that happened, it was like I took everything in my own hands, handled it the way I want to handle it. So I went violence with violence, basically. And that was just dark. They started becoming my normal. And I knew I was like, I need to slow down. Like, I need a break, but I don't know what the break gonna be. And I end up getting incarcerated in 2009. And that was the time I got to reflect on all the stuff that I was doing. And I was like, damn, I've been getting in trouble for a long time. I've been doing this. I've been supposed to this. So I got to reflecting on my dad, the way my dad brought me up, the sneaky stuff that I was doing. And it was like, it's on me now to make it change. And I took accountability for whatever actions, whatever I had going on. And I just took that change. And I was like, now I can reflect on it and talk about it, but not brag and boast about it and be like, this how I'm living. Hey, yeah, I stepped on this. Now I'm telling you my change. And that's why I feel like a lot of people with my music, they don't know to listen to me because they don't hear me bragging about what I used to really be on. Like, it was dark. Like, it was real dark. So I don't commend nobody to go down that route because a lot of people don't make it back from it. To be sitting here to even talk about it though.
Okay, so you said that you had got into a situation that led to gun violence, and was that what you was speaking on? What you was just speaking on? What happened like when you got snuck?
I did a lot of gun violence out there.
But like in your submission, like you said, you was facing 16 years for a club fight.
Yeah, so
can you elaborate on it?
So I'm gonna
say, let's dive in it. Whatever you can say.
I can speak on everything because it's behind me. Like I said, that happened in 2009. But like I said, I bought my first gun after I got my jaw broke. So when I see
this situation that I'm talking about happened after.
It happened earlier. Like I was 17.
Before.
It happened when I was 17. My first time buying my own. I done came across guns. It's never been my gun, but I bought my own gun. And that power in my hand, and I'm handling it. Like I said, I was handling all the stuff how I wanted to handle it. And when I done that, I'm like, I don't need nobody. Like my big brother started respecting me. Like, my little brother go off out here. He ain't playing. So any altercation situations I get in, it's either fighting or the shooting. The shooting became normal to me. So we used to go to the club. It was this club called Fuel on off of Broadway, like off of Second Ave, like where the bombing happened at.
Downtown?
Like downtown bombing. Yeah, so it was a club called Fuel. And we used to go there every weekend. I'm talking about every turn. It was like more of like the college scene, everybody partying, good parties, good music and all that. And the friends that I was around, they was kind of like more of like my soldiers because they was saluting like, look how he handled everything out here. We love to follow you. Like I said, I was the leader, so they all following whatever I got going on. A dude bumped into me. My drink fell on the ground. I wasn't tripping because I'm already been trying to chill and get away from a lot of that stuff. Instead of me having a problem with it, my homeboy had a problem with it. My homeboy ended up hitting the dude who knocked my drink out, so they start fighting. And I'm really mad because, like, why didn't he hit him for? You feel me?
Like your homeboy, so your homeboy hit
the guy. Dude. Yeah, hit the dude who knocked my drink out.
So you weren't even worried about it?
No, I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, I'm cool because I done got to this point where, like, I'm kind of, like, humble now. It's like I know what I do, and everybody ain't willing to take it to that level. And like I said, that level is You gotta.
Right.
It's a tunnel vision. You can't like. It ain't no sympathy for anybody out there. So he doing that. They get to fight. I'm like, okay, they fight 1-on-1. It's cool. We know the security guards and all this. So I can get my boy make him come back in the club. His girl jumped in, and I'm like, oh, hold on now. Let me make sure they're gang. And then his homeboy jumped in and grabbed my homeboy from the back. Now we all have to get in the brawl. So
right.
they got dude got put out, and I was like, hey, let my friend back in the club. Dude was like, all right, man, tell him put his shirt back on. He can come back in here. So I go to the door. I'm like, hey, bro, put your shirt on, man. You got to come in here, bro. Don't be doing all that. He like,
right.
So I'm like, dang, he ain't came in a little minute. We still partying. We ain't even think about him no more.
Right. So how long has it been? Like, how many minutes?
Oh, it's probably about 10 minutes now.
Right.
Like, I'm like, dang, bro, he came back in the club. His girlfriend or his little friend, it was somebody came to me and was like, they out there ganging. His name was Armand. Armand. So they were like, they out there ganging Armand. So I'm like, oh, man. And I'm real protective. Like, like, if you my family, that's why people don't see a certain side of me, because I don't have nobody around me. When I go somewhere dolo, I'm responsible to me. I know I ain't worried about it. Like, the drink fit, man, I'm cool with that. Everything cool. If I'm my little brother with me, you disrespect him, everybody finna feel it. That's what type of person I was. Like, I'm so protective. So I go out there. Now we having a brawl, a fight in the parking lot. The fight going on a good 5 minutes. And we used to bring guns down there, like, and keep them in the car.
Right.
So I'm already, like I said, I'm accustomed to shooting. Like, I'm used to that. Right. But I know we got a gun in here, but I ain't really on it. So I'm like, man, this fight going on too long. We gonna end up getting locked up out here. They keep trying to fight in front of the police and keep on going.
Oh, man.
They had this one dude, he was real big. You see me, I've been slim.
Yeah.
And he looked like he played for the Titans or something. Like, he
linebacker.
Linebacker. I'm like, it was like 4 of us. I'm like, and it was like 4 of them. But I'm like, all 4 of us gonna have to get on dude. Right. That's the only way we gonna win this battle. And dude was like, he was just talking crazy. And I was telling my homeboy, I was like, bro, get the strap. But I'm telling him get the strap to make them go on and leave so we can get in car and get on down.
Right.
So my friend, he's still doing all this fighting. I'm like, bro, get the strap. Dude said, bitch, that nigga, if y'all had the strap, y'all would have been done pulled it. I'm like, and then that clicked in my head. Mind you, this my normal now. Like,
right.
You got me fucked up. Like, you don't know who I am for real. Like,
right.
My homeboy run to get the gun. He come back with the gun. And I wasn't paying attention to my homeboy going to get the gun because the fight was still going on. And I'm like, why they backing up for? And I'm like, oh, now you see.
Right,
and then I grabbed the gun out of his hand and right on Broadway, like Broadway downtown, like how it be live like that. I got to shooting at that dude down there, and it got locked up down there. Like 15 police come chasing me. I ended up getting rid of the gun, but they ended up getting it. This is my first time getting locked up for. I ain't never like used to go to jail and all that type of stuff. First time getting charged with something. It's a high case, like high.
So what was you charged with?
Aggravated assault.
Aggravated assault.
Four of them. So
dang.
all 4 of them, by them all being together.
You got 4 of them.
Yeah, they like, yeah, he done this. He hit me with this. They like kind of exaggerated the story a little bit more than it was, because only person I really shot at was the
main
the big
one.
dude. Yeah, the big dude. He didn't even come to court. He wasn't even from here. I think dude was like in the Navy or Army or something. So whatever story they painted up together about him being friends, they came in there was like, yeah, he done this. Like, I'm like, dang, they could have just told the truth and I would have took the consequences off it. Man, they done told a whole nother story. But by them saying they see me with a gun, they bounded over. When you get bounded over, you don't know when your next court date is exactly. So it's like pushed off to 4 to 6 months. Imagine I ain't never done this much time. And then I didn't know before I went to court if the person died or anything. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm facing.
So you did successfully hit the dude.
The dude got grazed. Got grazed. But it's like I said, they was making up other stories. Like he hit me with the gun. This to happen and this like that. So I was like, yeah, but just shooting down there. They look at it like that's too reckless.
Right.
And I'm like
downtown on Broadway with all them people.
But my mind that was my normal. So I'm not thinking like how they think. Right. So when they're like, nah, I try to get a bond reduction. My bond was like $300,000, so that's $30,000. And you know, we do the 10% in there. You know, that's the kind of, so that's $30,000. I'm like, man, I ain't got no $30,000 sitting around like for real, $30,000. So I'm knowing I'm not finna get out. So I'm like, yeah, leave. Dang, I'm glad the person ain't dead because I would have been facing the murder charge. And they bound me over. That was the journey. 4 to 6 months, my court date popped back up. I kept going to court for
So you got 4 to 6 months for that?
No, 4 to 6 months. I was just waiting for 4 to 6 months, only waiting for
another date.
Waiting for the court date. So I don't know when I'm going home. I'm just in here, just around these people. Like, man, I don't know when I'm going home. And feel like talking to people. I'm seeing a lot of people that I knew from the streets. I'm seeing people that I even got into it with before. It's like everybody, all these criminal-minded people is in here. I'm like, they ain't seen him since school. What, bro? Dang, they call him in here too. Like, and I'm at a high profile, so I'm around people who got murders and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Mind you, I'm cool, humble, laid back, just about my business. But at the same time, I got a serious ass. So I'm like, all right, none of this can't bother me because I ain't got none of my people in here that I got to fend for. I can fend for myself. I'm cool. They ain't really bother me. And I don't play about nobody taking nothing. So I ain't getting nothing. I'm like, I don't care how small I am. You going to think I'm Incredible Hulk if you touch anything that belong to me. So with that being said, the jail stuff, I had to adjust to it. I kind of was looking at how certain stuff ran. I'm like, okay, that's how you do that. Okay, that's how you do that. Because I ain't no jailbird. I don't know nobody to call besides my older brother. He done probably a couple months and stuff like that. So just day by day, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I'm getting by. I'm like, I don't. In any new environment, I get nervous. So I ain't gonna tell you I went in there like, man, nigga, this is what it is. I went in there with my nerves bad. I'm like, it's a new environment. That's just like me going to the studio or anything. Yeah. I have nerves like be bad. So I'm like, all right, get out this mode. How can I get past this? After that, I'm just cruising, like I'm making it through. And they end up offering me. My lawyer was like, it's 4 years for every aggravated assault. So that's 16 years. I'm like, 16 years? I'm 21 at this time. I'm like, 16 years? Man, but I need to get out today. I'm trying to go home. And when he said that, I was like, nah. And then I guess he talked to the DA trying to see what it is. I came back. The next offer was like 6 years at 30%. So I ended up taking the 6 years at 30%, and they.
So what is 6 years at 30%? Like you want to do 30% of that?
Yeah, 30%. Okay. So that's like 2 years. So that's what I did. So I did.
Oh yeah, that's better than 16.
Oh yeah, well, I'm good. They're like, hey, the next place you go to is the food gonna be better. This, and I'm like, as long as I'm out of that strict jail and it's already flowing, I already been here now. I can't cry about it. I already got through that phase of like, damn, I've been wanting to go home. Now it's like you already in it. Like every step, learn something new, mm-hmm. And that was my sit down when I was saying like I needed to sit down. I was trying to get away from that. It done got too dark. Now I get to see everything for what it is. Right. So I was calling home, like trying to tell the people that I was around, the ones that I was leading, I'm like, bro, we need to change it up. We done survived so much. They laughing. Like,
right, they ain't taking you serious.
Nah, he ain't taking, man, he gonna real run on the ball. He joking, talking about like I'm preaching. I'm like, dang, I gotta get back into ice. At this time they were calling me Icy Capone. So I was spelling it ICEY at the time, and they put Capone on it because of the street accolade, like the stuff that the streets know me by. So I'm like, all right, they got the free Icy mixtape out there. I'm like, nah, let me just sit back, man. I'm letting them know I'm still with this shit, you feel me? But it was just like my ego and all that was bothered. But I'm like, man, I'm comfortable in my skin now, so it ain't bothering me. But yeah, that jail situation was, I did 2 years and made the best of everything when I came out. Like I wasn't looking back. Like I can't. It's over for that.
Yeah.
So I haven't been in those type of situations that like how I was downtown. Right. Like so I changed. Yeah. I changed. My actions changed after that.
You came out and you changed.
Yeah.
So when you got out of jail, how was that impact on those people? Because you always speak about being a leader in your songs, and in one of the songs I see you said that you mentioned like. You failed. You feel like you failed them. So what, what made you say that? Feel like that?
Yeah. That's a good question too. It was like me being a prime example. I didn't know I was a leader, like that much of a leader at the time. So when they was following I'm like, damn, if I can lead them this way,
you can lead them.
As soon as I change up what I'm doing, it should be easy because they already following and admired by everything. Like I said, they like. Then my daddy was a hustler, so that's a thing to give me some credit right there.
Right.
Then I'm handling business and not letting nobody play with me. That's another thing. I'm fresh. I've got my head on my shoulder. I ain't really following too many other people, and I ain't giving nobody else no big homie title over my life. Like,
right.
Cause my mama told me don't join no gang. I seen my daddy do it, so I ain't bragging about nobody else's pockets. So it was just like, I know who I am, and these two people are my parents. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
The leadership role, I feel like I failed them, and it was certain things that done happen where I felt like I should have been more upfront with them about how it's going, and I ain't talked to them. It wasn't no communication. I just done something bogus. Right. I'm like, dang, I don't even like that feeling because I ain't no bogus person. And they put all their trust in me. So when I do that and I feel, it's hard on me, 10 times harder on me than it is to them, even though they got to go through the emotions of how they feel with it. So I just feel like I feel some of my homies for situations, some things that I done, like decisions I made. Right. I'm like, man, I ain't even speak to him on. I'm gonna just go with my move and just leave it at what it is. And then when I sit back and reflect, I'm like, nah, that ain't proper. You feel me? So.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I meant by that.
And I feel like listening to your music, I got a lot of questions because I feel like, you said music is therapy, and we interact on that level. Mm-hmm. So I know in prime example, you spoke on like falling out with friends and stuff like that, mm-hmm. and you spoke on just soul searching in that song, just soul searching and really mm-hmm. just finding yourself and forgiveness. So in between you falling out of people and then admitting that you were wrong mm-hmm. in situations that you talked about in the song, how did that how was that transitions between like having pride and ego over a fallout versus now you finding yourself and now you, all right, nah, this was me, like taking accountability and stuff like that. So how did you transition?
Oh man, that was I had to put my defense mechanism down. I used to be like, if I'm telling you, like if I'm coming to you and I apologize, and you're like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. And I'm like, nigga, fuck you. Like, nigga, right. Apologize. So I had to get out of that. Like, quit being defensive and let that person's emotions go through however they feel. They ain't got to accept it right now, but then they probably can look back on it and be like, right. Man, he came to me, even though if I ain't want to hear it. And then I know I was a person, it was hard to apologize to me. Like, from relationship stuff, I'm like, man, they trying to apologize. I ain't trying to hear that. You trying to say that right now. Yeah. You done hurt me. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm bouncing on to the next thing that's going on. But that part of being accountable, like man, that accountability, I knew the growth. I was like, I ain't never felt like this. That was like the second time in my life I had to face accountability. Like jail, when I'm the one that committed this crime. Right. It ain't nobody else can take no heat from it. I'm like, that's what made me grow through the jail situation. So when I took accountability on certain relationships, I just look back on like anything that bogus. I was reading this book called All I Know About Men. And I can't think of his name, the dude's name, but he used to be married to Megan Good. And that's what he was talking about, accountability. And I'm like, man, accountability, like, dang. Then when I felt, I was like, dang, I done all this wrong and I ain't apologized. I started calling. I went through a list. I'm talking about I had me in tears and everything. But I'm like, I'm growing. This is the time to grow. Like, you supposed to feel like this because I really care. Like, I really care. So that was like, it was much needed. And I feel like for anybody to go through that journey when you cut people off, that's the calling for it. Like, God telling you cut them off, it hurts you. It might hurt you more than it hurt them. Like, dang, y'all know I'm hurt by this. Right. I have to move away from y'all. And for me to love them from a distance. Yeah, love them from the distance. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, it ain't, they say you're on the right path when nobody don't understand you. Like, that's the path you're supposed to be on. Like, you're like, dang, I'm trying to tell him. He's not getting nothing you saying. Yeah, so I noticed that. I'm like, damn, look how far I done came. Without me isolating myself away from a lot of people, man, I went all the way up. And I'm like, dang, them conversations ain't the same no more. Like, I can't indulge in that same conversation. Right. Even if they ain't grow, but just knowing that I left it on the table of, I apologize, bro. Ain't no ill will. No, I love you, and I can walk away from this like it is. And I hope you find it in your heart or something. But I wish the best for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still rooting for those people who I'm not around. And it take a lot of time for people to realize, to get to that point. Like, sometimes it take them to go through something, and then they start to become aware. Because that's what I'm going through, like, in my transformation right now. Like, everybody don't understand, but, like, I'm just growing. But I still love y'all, though, you know, like. Yeah, they
I still want to see you in. Yeah, like, why you acting funny? Like, you don't fuck with me no more? Like, nah, it ain't that. I'm just finding myself and really just finding my purpose and what's for me.
Now, the real ones will understand, like the true friends.
Right.
Not the ones like some people you'll cut off, they want to do something to you because you don't cut them off.
Right.
Like, damn, you want to hurt me, bro?
Right down.
Like, because I move this type of way out in their fake. And then a lot of them people you'll see the fake ones get together and get to talking.
And click up. Yeah,
they'll click up and start
against
talking about you. Like, damn, that's all it took. But then that show you how much of a leader you are and how powerful you are.
Right.
And I've been against all odds, so that's my comfortable position. Like, oh, y'all don't
Right.
don't even know. This what I thrive off of. So yeah, but I wish all of them the best, and I salute to them though.
Man, that's good. That's good. So I want to get into you spoke on losing your brother to gun violence.
Yeah.
How did that affect your mental?
Hey, that one right there. Like, I don't even speak a lot about my brother because I don't really come to people and be like, my brother passed. This is what I went through.
Right.
Man, my brother was like, you can have just like your brother and the friendship. You like, it'll be separate. Some people wouldn't know y'all brother. Man, my brother like best friends. Like,
right.
We fought it growing up and all that type of stuff, but we end up being best friends and around each other every day. Losing him, I didn't know it was so real that you can lose somebody like that close. Like, I mean, you just sitting right here talking, and then you gone, and next thing like,
right.
Nah, this ain't real. Let me go back to sleep and wake up and do it over. I just kept. It was like everything in me just was twisted up inside. Like I couldn't even really fathom that my brother was gone. And I was calling my mama for her to kind of cope with me, but it's her son.
Right.
But she's so strong. Like I said, like she a different breed. Where she like, yeah, she knowing I bond. But my brother told me though, he was like, if anything happened or anything, whatever, what y'all gonna do? But I need y'all to keep going. I'm like, man, and his way of saying that was like his transition. But but most people took it like towards the streets. Like if he get locked up, is they gonna keep the hustle going on? I'm like, I'm trying to be cold turkey with it. I went through my jail experience,
right?
But losing him, like, that's why I'm right here today, because I kept pushing. Like I ain't give up. Like it was times it was like it was so dark. Like my brother gone. Like for real, I didn't know who to move around, like who to be around. I couldn't trust people.
Right.
And the closest people to you, like I said, we grew up with that hate and that envy. They plotted on my brother. You feel me? Like set him up to rob, and then I know my brother mindset. I know he ain't giving up nothing. He gonna fight for his life.
Right.
Me, I'm gonna play it out. Hey, nah, homie, you got that. I'm trying to make out your voice. I'm gonna catch up with you. Like I done it. Like I know how to operate up under that type of pressure. But him, he fought. He ain't go out like no sucker in no form or fashion.
Right.
But that was like that was the start point of like a snowball effect of I started losing people after my brother passed. Like so now it's like me being numb to death. Like that was the hardest. Then like 2 years later, my cousin passed, and not to skip over this, but I went out a year when my brother died, like a year later. So that transbacked my mind back to that dark.
That
like
dark
this
place.
This the only thing gonna get me back in the streets. I'm protected. It went dark. When I say it went dark, like you think the shootouts and all that stuff, it was rapid. It was like my mom don't care about nothing. If somebody got to die, this, that, and third.
Yeah.
So it was like back to the gunfire, back to what you know. It's a lot of pressure on you too, especially when you lose somebody to gun violence. Somebody take your life. You like it's a pride thing. Like dang, they think we some suckers or something. Or, you know, like this. Then people in your ear talking about like, hey man, we gonna ride. And you like, he might tell on me. He keep on trying to gas me up. If you catch him on your own time, catch him on your own time. Don't keep calling me when you finally see him. Like you ain't standing on the same principles that I'm standing on. And they put it back a one man army type of mentality. And just to try to cope with that, it was just like I had to. They said success is revenge.
Right.
So it's like I started succeeding doing everything. Like I'm creating a narrative to his life now. He didn't get to live to tell his story. He have a daughter, my niece, her name Dallas. Dallas, she 13, but she asked these questions now. She like, how was my dad? How did he die? Like she got to that question. I'm being always transparent with her. and she loved me. And I'm like, dang, bro, I can't even repay you back how you did for me in jail and all this type of stuff. But taking care of her, that's the only way. It's like, so it gave me purpose. It started placing people around me that I know I'm here for a reason. So I can't just crash out because it's all on me. My mama lose two sons by if I go to jail and be gone for life and something like that. So it was like my mom, like them conversations with her just kept me focused. And I did everything that I needed to do to like get that emotion out. I'm screaming in pillows. I'm in the room by myself, crying. I'll do whatever it takes. Like, and then making this music. If I had Uzi City and Uzi City 2, those records was really like what I was living and doing. I took them off because they represented a dark place. So if I keep listening to that, it'll bring me back to that. So the new music is like I'm talking about.
So you just being intentional.
Yeah, it was intentional. So I took them off. So that's what it was. But yeah, man, that's what I'm motivated by. Reginald Clark. You know what I'm saying? My son named King Reginald Clark. So that's keeping his legacy.
Keeping his name alive. During the dark times, did you go to like therapy or anything, or was it just really just you had your mom to speak to? That's who you turned to? Man,
I didn't even know really like therapy really exists. But I had a cousin, she always kept telling me go to therapy. And I'm like, cool, I'm not gonna sit down and be talking to somebody about my life. Cause I feel like I wouldn't be open to like tell you about this shooting and stuff. I wasn't comfortable to say that. Everything was sacred to me. So you wouldn't know you like, this nigga ain't went through no shooting. This nigga, and I loved it. Nobody didn't know my lifestyle outside of the music and all that, besides the people I was at war with and stuff. But I didn't never think about that. I went through it the way I could. What caused me to try therapy was me and my son mother separated. We split up. And that was like, this is different. This ain't the one I go hurt somebody and take the anger out in that way. It was like, I feel like I failed my family. So that goes back to that feeling again. It was kind of to that situation as well. And I was like, dang, man, that accountability. All I know about me, and I was like, hey, I'm finna stand up in this. I'm gonna make the best out of this situation. And I was talking to therapists and all that, man. I would tell him it's all on me. I'm like, man, it's my fault for these type things. He like, hold on. He was like trying to not blame it on him, but like shift it to like, nah, it's not you. Let me see what this situation was. Nah, that person was. I'm like, no, it's me. And then he just giving me different perspectives of things, and it was kind of like I can grow in this, man. Like I appreciate that, but I think I done it for like 2 months, I believe, and after that it was like, all right, I can start over if I need some more. And I think I'll do it again just to see where I'm at mentally, spiritually, because I be, sometimes you keep pushing, you ain't really stopping and taking no breaks to see how things is.
Trust me, I feel that 100%.
So you don't experience therapy and stuff?
Yeah, like, I'm in therapy. I got into therapy after I got shot.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely... It's something that help, but music first. Like to us, it's more easy to just vent to the microphone, and that's how I feel like I'm able to connect with you more just by listening to your music. Because if you listen to your music, you already seeing everything really in your music, and that I know that's how I am. So, let's get into like relationships. Like, as far you say you got a son, how old is your son?
My son's 7 years old.
7 years old. So how was it raising your son?
No, it's the best. It's the best. It's like the best feeling in the world. It give you like you in this marathon, and you can pass it on him and give him all the tools he needs to keep on running this race, and generation like build off a generation. I know he gonna be able to paint his own picture of his life. Like I get to teach him all the defaults that I had in my life, and where he don't have to go experience those things. I ain't never took him to the trap. I ain't never put nothing in his diaper bag and stuff like that. So it's like I got the great experience to see what not to do through my dad. And my son one day we had like a conversation. We were praying. And I'm like, son, I'm finna go ahead and pray and say your prayer. And I ain't teach him how to pray. I'm just telling him, tell God this. Man, he ended up talking, saying, I appreciate my dad and thank you for everything my dad had done. And it was just like, I was going through some stuff, and it was like validation. It was like peace. And he like a peace space for me, like for real. So he pride my pride and joy, like for real.
Right. So how is like his mother like parenting and stuff like that?
We growing. We at the co-parenting stage. Like I said, we was together 8 years.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Yeah, but we ain't have my son until 4 years later.
Right.
And I'll be having a whole bunch of stories. I know I'll be going on a little rant. I'll be keep going. But 2017, I found out a child wasn't my biological child, and I raised him all the way to 9 years old. And
so was that another child or was it King?
Now it's another child. Now King my biological child. But 2017, I found out this. So mind you, I done went through the jail situation, my brother died, shootouts, all this like stuff that people would give up on, like after going through that. The same year I found out that's when I found out King was gonna be born. And I was like, nah, this a lie. You lying to me. This ain't true. And I.
So was this by the same person?
Nah, it's about a different person.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to put. Yeah. I don't want to put in that. Yeah. But people know this story because it was like it would be like it hit the social media. I'm like, hold on, man, I ain't even cope with this the right way. And it's like I'm ready to crash out. I didn't crash out about that. But I love him so much that I was like, I cannot do something that I regret because he don't understand. But me and him got a great relationship.
Right.
Still, like we'll talk and I pour into him so much stuff because he already had that instilled to him. And I can see traits of my son by the teachings. Like I'm like, that is how I be operating, and that's why they move. My son moved the same way that he was moving when he was their age or whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a lot.
Nah, yes, that was therapy and stuff. I ain't no like I said, I ain't no therapist. I was just like, what? How? When is gonna go away? Like it's too much on my. It's too much on my heart.
So you felt like it was too much. Like you was going through too much at the time. Like it was too much on your plate.
Mm-hmm. I made a song. You know, I put it in the music.
Man,
like,
I know you always dropping.
Look, it was a song called "I Put My Heart in It," and when I said I can't even remember exactly what I said, but when I performed it, this lady was like, hey, did that story really happen when you were saying the child something? And I was like, yeah, that happened. So the lady just became a fan and was just really like, oh, so what happened with it? And I ended up talking to her about it. But I took all those songs, off with that.
Right. So I know in some of your songs, like you versatile. Mm-hmm. Like you get on, speaking your truth, motivational stuff. I feel like people can learn a lot from your music. But then you have like the soft side, like the love side of the song. So like what's love for you looking like right now?
Oh, what love looking like for me? It's
like love, relationships.
Like I'm gonna say what I'm inspired and intrigued by, like a valuable person, like intellect. So it's like I'm with the dating, so I'm learning so much, and I'm like, I don't want them old traumas to affect my new situation. Like and then I know though, like when I'm dealing with the person, I see a lot of the things back. Like dang, this stuff. Dang, I'm some trauma from my last relationship. So it's like going through therapy again, but you kind of can pinpoint it. But another the person, as long as they done their own self healing, they understand it. Like, I understand that come from another place. That ain't coming from this. So it's like I feel like I'm learning to embrace whatever is meant for me. Like I'm even expressing it in the music. Cause first, like I feel like everybody express their gangster stuff all the time. They don't know how to be vulnerable and all that. And I'm like, be vulnerable because it ain't a lot of music out there like that. But I grew up on listening to hearing the vulnerable tracks, and I'm like, look, everybody like it. Let me create something like that. So I'm gonna say love is love. Like it's so many, it's so many perspectives of love right now, like floating through the media. But like I value the intellect. I value real people. I value someone who love themselves, so they teach me how to love that person. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So as we wrap this interview up, I still feel like we ain't got to talk about everything.
It's gotta be a 2 we gotta
do a part 2 to this. But as we wrap up, like what final thoughts or advice could you give to some of the people that's out here still going through the same thing, like whether it be things with the streets or losing somebody? Like what's some advice that you would give to them?
my brother told me, keep pushing. That was his motivation to me, keep pushing. And I be like, keep going. Like, it's better, don't give up. Like, when you stop, you don't know it's something on the other side of that door for you.
Right.
Find something you truly love doing. Go find purpose. Go through the counseling, because we all need it, because it didn't seem like it existed to me at a time. Love on yourself. When you love yourself, a lot of your actions are gonna change. You won't be in the same places or same situations you used to be in. Just know things ain't happening to you; they happening for you, and just take the lessons from it. Like, embrace the adversity instead of every time bad stuff come. Be ready to crash out. Embrace the adversity and be like, God, what you got for me? Ask the question of like, what's this for right here? I see this situation. It's a whole bunch going on. I know you got something good. And then when that good do come, you'll be able to be like, that's what that was for. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And what's some upcoming projects, music, like what's some things you got coming up, got going on?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. First off, y'all need to get the Gemini. I put that out last month, June 6th. And all the other projects, if y'all haven't heard them. But I got Uzi City. Like, I'm remaking it, new songs, new direction. It ain't talking about the same stuff it was about. Right. And I'm almost finished with that. But I'm gonna drop it August 28th. That's the day my brother transitioned. So I feel like put that out there in the universe instead of post a long quote about something on Facebook. Like, dang, it's coming on this many years, and I'm putting something positive out there and let everybody enjoy the tape.
And you can drop your at social media platforms for the music, so the people can go check you out.
Hey, 32 Icy. That's on all platforms. If you looking for my music, you can go on to YouTube, go check out all my videos as well. My Instagram, 32ND_Icy, ICEE. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, 32 Icy, and y'all gonna catch my podcast and all that on there. So y'all stay tuned.
So shout out to his podcast, The Rawest.
The Rawest, you know what I'm saying? I got the sauce on right now.
He got the drill, he got the sauce.
Hey, it's coming, you feel me?
So make sure y'all tune in. This will be a wrap with Talks with 2, episode 3, 32 Ice. Man, we out here. I appreciate y'all for listening. And anybody got a story, anybody done been through some things that they want to come discuss and come talk about, like, come on the podcast and talk about it. We out.
I'm sorry for everything you had to go through. It started as a child. I wish that I was stronger in situations that I had to go through. I'm trying to press it now.